Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a super long time since I've put out a new video. I am now finally ready to get back into the groove of things. For those of you who don't know, we were out of town for an adoption for like a month and a half. So I was away from things, tried to do a few things live, but life just kind of got crazy there for a little bit. But now I am back in the swing of things and ready to bring you guys more awesome Lord of the Rings and Tolkien content. So today we're looking at a brand new video game trailer for the video game The Lord of the Rings Gollum that will be coming out for PS5 and whatever the new Xbox console is called. So we're going to look at this. It's a pretty short trailer, and we're going to break down some things. I think I spotted a few little clues. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a quick view of the trailer in full. Not bad. Had some cool moments in there. Let's take it a little bit frame by frame here. We'll go back to the beginning of the spot here. All right, so the first thing we've got is we kind of open on a bunch of dead fish. We all know that Gollum loves his fish. Raw and wriggling. Now this is the first thing that really caught my attention here. So we've got some cave drawings, presumably made by Gollum himself. The first one here on the right that caught my interest, it looks like we've got two people standing in a boat. The one on the left here might have something in his right arm there. Or left arm, depending on how your perspective is. But yeah, it looks like two people in a boat. My immediate thought on this is wondering, is this Gollum, Smeagol and Deagle possibly before they get the ring? Yeah, that's my first thought on that. I'm not 100% sure what else that could be. And then as we pan over, continue panning to the left, it looks like what I'm presuming is Gollum bowing down to what I assume to be the Eye of Sauron. Now, it's possible, let's count the other out there idea I had was that this could be Shelob, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like we've got too many little spikes coming out here for that to be Shelob. That's more than 8, so I'm assuming that's not a spider, unless Gollum's just not very good at counting, which is possible, but... plus, it looks like it has a bit of a red tint there in the middle, so that kind of leads me to believe my first guess to be accurate, that that's the Eye of Sauron. So this is possibly after Gollum has been captured already by Sauron. Okay, guys, I'm cutting in here because actually as I was editing this video, I realized that this is in fact Shelob. Let me explain. So if you look at the legs here that I was counting, thinking that those were beams coming from Sauron's eye, I'm convinced that it actually is spider legs. You'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here along the top, 1, 2, 3, 4 along the bottom, leaving the extras that I assumed meant that this was not Shelob to actually be her stinger coming out the back and her pinchers coming out the front. So now I am convinced that this is actually Gollum bowing down to Shelob, which makes a lot of sense because this could be Gollum when he is seeking information about the ring and sneaking into Mordor before he is captured by Sauron. With that, I'll let you get back to the rest of the video. We also have in the upper left-hand corner here, it looks like some kind of string of bones. My first thought was like, this is some really demented, like mobile or something that Gollum could look up at and just admire as he's sleeping. But I think the more likely scenario here, maybe this is a makeshift ladder. Maybe Gollum has made some kind of ladder for himself out of orc bones or something. So that could be a hint of gameplay there. Maybe, you know, I could imagine there being a lot of climbing involved. This has been announced that it's going to be a Prince of Persia-esque stealth game. So not going to be a whole lot of combat and action from the sounds of it. If you're used to something like Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, those kinds of games, definitely a different type of game here. Let's keep continuing on. So we've got Gollum in a cave, very reminiscent of his moment in the prologue to Lord of the Rings there. And actually on first watch, that's what I thought that this was the location, was that he was in the Misty Mountains. And then we see a nice shot. This is where they show off the high definition, how fancy their graphics have gotten. And we've got his pupils dilating a little bit there, and the reflection of Mount Doom in Gollum's eyes. We see him slowly creeping out. Looks like a bunch of birds of some kind fly by. Gollum hides, so that maybe that's kind of a little hint that this is, there again, a stealth game. So one thing I noticed upon rewatch here is this fish on Gollum's right hip. He's got a fish on his right hip that kind of bobs there a little bit. I didn't notice that on my first watch through. Maybe that's a clue of managing resources in this game. Not much is known about it aside from the fact that it is a stealth game. So maybe this fish on his side, I don't know, unless he's using it as a weapon, which would be very interesting. But maybe the fish is something he uses to distract. He throws a rock or a fish somewhere else to distract someone and then sneaks behind their back, that kind of thing. And then we have this nice landscape shot of Mount Doom. In the distance, we can see Barad-dûr with the Eye of Sauron on top. So it's been announced from the developers that they're looking to do a lot of book canon with this, I guess, or be a little more book accurate in some respects, but it definitely looks like they've taken inspiration from Peter Jackson's films as well. Obviously, the design of Gollum is very, very similar, maybe a little bit more cartoony. You can see in this shot, he looks a little bit like, you remember the old National Enquirer Bat Boy? That's what I first, maybe that's dating me a little bit, but I remember being freaked out by that as a kid when I would see that. But then we've got obviously the Eye of Sauron on top of the tower being a literal flaming eye, which, isn't book accurate, but that's how it was in the Peter Jackson adaptation. So they're definitely kind of a mixture, I think, of the two, book and movie canon, which is fine. I don't expect a game like this or most games to be 100% accurate. My thought with video games is it's a sandbox. You play in it. If the game's fun, then great. I really like Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, for that very reason. Come for the gameplay and not the canon, for sure. Don't even get me started on Shelob from the Shadow of Mordor series, but it's a fun game. So what other clues or breadcrumbs have been left about this game? Well, there's been a series of stills. Let's go through those now. So the first up here, we have a good shot of Gollum, so we can kind of see his design a little bit. But we have like an option screen from the looks of it. So it looks like there'll be a bit of a custom path aspect to this game. You can see Gollum has his different options here to choose from, and from what I've read online, this will either put you toward a more Smeagol type Gollum or a more Gollum type Gollum. So you'll have the good and evil within Gollum that you'll be choosing between throughout the game. So I don't know if maybe that'll end up giving us different endings, which would be nice, but we'll see. But it looks like we have some decision making ahead of us. Here we have what looks to be a shot of Gollum sneaking by some rather large orcs and whatever these hyena mastodon combination things are. Some kind of Mordor devilry. This is a very interesting one. So this kind of ties into my observation where we saw Smeagol and Deagle possibly on the boat. I'm wondering if we'll get some flashback elements to this game where we're actually playing as Gollum either in the past or possibly after his time in Mordor. I thought that this game would only take place within Mordor, but seeing this screenshot makes me think otherwise. You will notice off here to the right, we do have, off here to the right, we do have some spiders, as you can see right above my head there. So maybe this is Mirkwood. Maybe we'll be playing as Gollum sometime after his time in Mordor, which would be interesting, as we know he was captured by Aragorn and taken to the Elves of Mirkwood. So maybe that's where he's going here. Next, further confirmation that we will be seeing spiders in this. It looks like we've also got a fair amount of lava in the background of Gollum, as he's not looking like he's in a great position there with spiders bearing down on him. Maybe this is the moment where we meet Shelob, and maybe these are her offspring, and he gets to meet Shelob for the first time. Maybe we'll see that in this game. This looks to be what I'm guessing is a section of Barad-dûr. Just some landscape there. Looks like it's under construction a little bit. This looks like some gameplay elements. Oh, there is an orc up there on the top center. It looks like Gollum's trying to be stealthy, climbing on the wall there. We've got some orcs lurking in the bowels of this facility. Another interior shot of what I'm guessing is Barad-dûr. More sneakiness from Gollum, sneaking around behind orcs' backs. It looks it does give you a little bit of a vibe of Shadow of Mordor a little bit. I would be excited if we saw someplace outside of Mordor. We've had 2 games now with Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor that are all within Mordor, essentially. Very little outside of Mordor. So it'd be nice to get some other locations in Middle-earth in a game, either this game or a future game. This looks to be a Orc Captain, one that we saw, I think, from behind earlier as Gollum was sneaking around. And here we have a shot of Gollum, and it looks like he's talking to someone as we pan down here a little bit. Maybe this is some kind of an alliance that he's forming. And that's all the stills that we have so far. I'm very interested to see how this game turns out. I thought, for a while there, that it had actually been canceled, but apparently it is still on. This teaser trailer kind of caught me off guard, so I'm curious to see. I'm not holding my breath that I'm going to absolutely love it, but I'm going to keep an open mind on it, so we'll see when it comes out. Well, there you go, guys. There is the trailer and screenshot breakdown video. That's all I've got for you. Like I said, I'm back and ready to start cranking out some more awesome Tolkien videos for you. Do me a favor and let me know in the comments what kind of videos you guys like. Do you like the Tolkien reading videos, the lore videos? If you have other ideas for videos that you'd like me to try out, I'm always open to experimentation. So yeah, let me know what you guys enjoy, and I'm looking forward to producing more and engaging with you guys in the comments and everything. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on Nerd of the Rings.